With that said, we have now reached the end. The bottom spot. Do yourself a favor and leave now while you still can. And if you want to stay, buckle the fuck up. It doesn't get worse than this. It really doesn't. I flirted with the idea of saying that That's My Boy and The Do-Over were worse, but I just couldn't. I couldn't even bring myself to write about this film for 9 months after I first saw it. 9 months! It's kind of like that John Mulaney bit where if you're trying to compare the badness of 2 words and you won't even say one of them, that's the worst word. I easily wrote about That's My Boy and The Do-Over immediately after seeing them. But I just can't even stomach the idea of spending a single minute editorializing about the soul-sucking awfulness of Going Overboard. This is genuinely one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. It's not the most offensive or the most heinous or the most overly long Adam Sandler film. It's only 97 minutes, so what's wrong with that? You don't know, man. Those 97 minutes are an eternity. I could feel my soul ebbing away as I watched this empty, meaningless series of images for the 4th fucking time because I couldn't bring myself to think about it a second longer on those first 3 viewings. Going Overboard is a self-described no-budget movie. One that Adam Sandler tells to the camera was only made because they had access to a boat and a bunch of supermodels for a couple days. So they figured, sure, we can make a silly comedy movie. It won't go down as one of the biggest atrocities in the history of mankind. I bet you're wondering how an Adam Sandler movie could possibly not have a budget. I mean, people love him. Surely he can get some amount of funding for this. Well, that's the fun part. This movie came out before Adam Sandler was famous. Before he joined Saturday Night Live. Before he had ever appeared in a feature film before. Going Overboard is his motion picture debut. And it's kind of incredible that despite a long career filled with so many widely despised films, he never topped this one. It never got any worse than the first fucking film he ever made. Wow. So what is Going Overboard about anyway? Well, after an ugly and visually unstimulating opening credit sequence, Adam Sandler talks directly to the audience and tells us how this is a no-budget feature that they only made because they had the boat and the supermodels, yada yada yada. Basically, his character is jealous of the ship comedian because he wants to be the guy who makes everyone on the ship laugh. He's a lowly busboy underdog and he wants a chance to prove himself. Okay, that doesn't seem like that terrible of a premise. So does he get the chance to take over as comedian after like 15 or 20 minutes? No! Try 40 minutes! Almost halfway through the movie! Because why would we get the plot in motion when we could instead have a bunch of long-ass pointless scenes that go nowhere? One of the most insane examples that keeps on popping up over and over as the film goes on is those supermodels. Are they incorporated into the plot? No! Are they incorporated into the setting on the boat at least? No! No! It just keeps cutting back to them in a black void as they answer supermodel questions. Why? I don't know! At one point, Adam Sandler says he's going to bed because he's upset that the ship comedian punched him in the face. But then he talks directly to the camera, which is something he does a lot in this movie, and says, I can't go to sleep. I'm too depressed. I wonder where I'll be in life in like 10 years. This is the cue for the movie to ingeniously cut to the supermodels, who then explain where they see themselves in 10 years. That is what this fucking movie is like the entire time. There is no rhyme or reason to anything you ever see on screen. They cobbled together whatever they had and hoped it would make for a presentable feature film. But hope isn't enough. The movie just keeps going with random bullshit that doesn't progress the plot. Adam Sandler has not one, not two, but 3 nightmare sequences within the span of the next 10 minutes. Hey, did you know that he doesn't like the comedian on the boat? I don't think you know that. I think we need to drill that into your head a little bit more. Actually, speaking of which, did you know that this movie takes place on a boat? You might have forgotten. So here's an establishing shot of the boat. And in 5 more minutes, we're gonna have another establishing shot of the boat, so that you remember that we're on a boat. But don't you worry. In case you forget that we're on a boat, we'll have another establishing shot in another 5 minutes of the boat, because that was where the movie takes place. It's on a boat. Oh my god, finally. The comedian got locked in the bathroom and everyone thinks he's dead because they saw his hat in the water. So that means he's dead. Okay. Looks like it's Adam Sandler's time to shine. Oh, wait. First, we have to have King Neptune show up to help Adam Sandler be more confident in himself. I'm sorry, what? Why? What's the joke here? How is this situation at all absurd or larger than life enough to warrant King Neptune, god of the sea, showing up and talking to Adam Sandler? This is what I'm talking about. Shit just happens in this movie for no reason. They had a King Neptune costume lying around and they figured they'd put him in the movie. Cause I don't know, why the hell not? I've genuinely seen student films that are more professional than this. Okay, now 50 minutes into the film, Adam Sandler is finally performing stand-up for the first time. Now is his chance to prove himself. Oh, okay, he just sucks at it, and after 2 minutes, he's booed off the stage. And they just get this rock star who's on the boat to perform a song number that goes on for 4 fucking minutes.
Waiting for them to play Gangnam Style.
Which is then followed up by an establishing shot of the boat at nighttime, which then fades into an establishing shot of the boat at daytime. This is anti-entertainment. This is what they use to torture prisoners in Guantanamo Bay. This is... Yeah, I'll say it. This is worse than the Wii U battle mode in Mario Kart 8 on Toad's Turnpike. It's a genuinely impressive feat to make something so unwatchable and unfunny. I'm proud of you, Adam Sandler. You really knocked it out of the park on your first attempt here. In the next scene, Adam Sandler is lamenting the fact that nobody finds him funny. And his friend tells him, hey, why don't you try telling jokes? And Adam Sandler says, wow, that's a great idea. But first, let's see a montage of some beautiful women. And then it's just random shots of women in bikinis. Not even the supermodels from earlier. It's just bikini women. You know, at least Hop had a story. Oh no, they dragged Milton Berle into this and his scene isn't even funny. Oh my god, make it stop. Oh, okay, now something is happening in the plot. Bad racial stereotype terrorists are here to kill Miss Australia because earlier in the movie, Mickey from the Rocky movies was a dictator and he was watching the videotape of all the supermodels and they were dissing him, so he wants Miss Australia killed. Oh, so the supermodels were relevant to the plot. God, I can't believe I doubted Going Overboard. What a tightly scripted masterpiece this is. Anyway, now there is a boring scene where they all run around the, what the hell is this thing again? We haven't had an establishing shot in a while, so I forget where the movie takes place. Oh, it's a boat! That's right! Whew, can't believe that knowledge was almost lost to the ages. Anyway, then they stop the terrorist goons because they teach them about the fine art of stand-up. And Sandler gets to kiss the lovely daughter of King Neptune at the end, who only appears in the ending scene, because they realized they needed Sandler to kiss a hot lady, so that's why she exists. Hey wait, was that Billy Zane as Neptune the whole time? And that's Going Overboard. Wow. It's truly inspiring that Sandler even had a career after this. I can't believe it exists. I can't believe it's this atrocious. I have been racking my brain for 9 months trying to come up with a single redeeming quality that this film has. But I got nothing. There is not one good joke. There is not one good scene. It is a harbinger for the death of comedy as we know it, and there is not a single reason for you to watch it. Is it harbinger or harbinger? Don't seek it out under any circumstances. It's not even the most horribly offensive Sandler comedy or anything. It's just a completely empty, annoying, infuriating in the moment, yet entirely forgettable when you're not watching it experience. I would say Adam Sandler has come a long way since this deeply painful debut of his, but that's only because it was literally impossible for him to get any worse than this. I can say with full sincerity that Going Overboard is one of the worst comedies of all time. One of the worst films I have ever had the displeasure of witnessing. And yes, easily my pick for the worst Adam Sandler movie ever made.